And at the top of 2 p.m., a very warm welcome here on CNN News 18. Hello, I'm Anusha Soni. Our top focus this hour is one of the world's most wanted terrorists, the leader of Al-Qaeda, Ayman al-Zawahiri, dead. He's been killed in Kabul. United States President Joe Biden authorized a precision-tailored airstrike to target Zawahiri, who was hiding in a safe house located in downtown Kabul. Two Hellfire missiles were used in the operation that killed bin Laden's successor. Zawahiri was the key architect behind the multiple attacks in the United States, and he was deeply involved in the planning of September 11 terror attacks back in 2001. Reactions are coming from across the world, from Canada to Saudi Arabia, on the victory against terror.
Justice has been delivered, and this terrorist leader is no more.
Described as a successful counterterrorism strike. Top U.S. officials confirming the death of Al-Qaeda's leader over the weekend. On Monday, President Biden addressing the nation.
My fellow Americans, on Saturday, at my direction, the United States successfully concluded an airstrike in Kabul, Afghanistan, that killed the emir of Al-Qaeda, Ayman al-Zawahiri. He was deeply involved in the planning of 9/11. One of the most responsible for the attacks that murdered 2,977 people on American soil. For decades, he was the mastermind behind attacks against Americans.
Zawahiri led Al-Qaeda for more than a decade. He was wanted on a $25 million reward for his role in the 9/11 attacks, the murder of U.S. nationals outside the United States, and an attack on a federal facility resulting in death. He took charge of the military group since the killing of Osama bin Laden in 2011.
The United States continues to demonstrate our resolve and our capacity to defend the American people against those who seek to do us harm. No matter how long it takes, no matter where you hide, if you are a threat to our people, the United States will find you and take you out.
Zawahiri's targeted death comes nearly a year after the U.S.'s military withdrawal from Afghanistan and the Taliban's takeover of the country. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
Well, joining us on the broadcast right now is Ben Wedman from CNN. He's joining us from Rome. Thank you, Ben, for speaking to us. Help us understand, U.S. is calling this a moment of vindication for its people. Do we have details of the strike and if there were any other casualties in this operation?
We understand the strike took place this Sunday morning in Kabul in the Shirpur neighborhood. According to U.S. officials, a drone fired two Hellfire missiles. Now, American officials claim that only Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed in this strike, that this was a strike that was months planned, and the U.S., including President Biden, were determined to avoid any additional casualties beyond Ayman al-Zawahiri himself.
Well, that also leads us to the question that could he have been in Kabul without the knowledge of Taliban?
It's highly unlikely that he was in Kabul without the knowledge of the Taliban. In fact, according to information that's out there, he was living in a building owned by a member of the Haqqani network. That's part of the Taliban movement. And in fact, it appears that wherever he was before the Taliban took over Kabul, he moved to Kabul apparently because he felt safer in the absence of U.S. forces in the Afghan capital. So, in short, it's highly unlikely the Taliban were unaware that Ayman al-Zawahiri lived in that villa in the Shirpur neighborhood.
Well, with no successor to Al-Qaeda, what happens now? That's the key question.
Al-Qaeda, certainly in recent years, has become increasingly irrelevant. They were eclipsed by the Islamic State, and it appears that their main goal in recent years, particularly Ayman al-Zawahiri, was merely to stay alive. And even that obviously hasn't succeeded. And therefore, the question is after Zawahiri, who was, of course, the number 2 man to Osama bin Laden, the question is, will Al-Qaeda even exist after the assassination of Zawahiri? As I said, it's an organization that in recent years has become increasingly